The New England Patriots head into Monday Night Football at 10-2. Is that because their schedule is too easy? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Duo Collectibles YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our daily NFL content. Also, please bookmark all future shows on Whatnot and TikTok Live so you don't miss any of our sports cards auctions. The New England Patriots are 10-2 heading into Monday Night Football, but they've been called fool's gold because of the schedule that they've had. And, while I can acknowledge to some extent they have had an easier schedule, they've played a lot of non-playoff teams, and they haven't had a crazy travel schedule. No West Coast trips, no London trips. In fact, I think the farthest west they've gone is New Orleans. So they've pretty much stayed in the East Coast time zone the entire season. And there's no doubt that all that type of stuff is beneficial, but the schedule can be cyclical. Every year, some teams have a better schedule than others. I think there's big time reason for optimism in the New England Patriots organization for a couple reasons. I think number one, first and foremost, the hiring of Mike Vrabel. Gerard Mayo clearly was not ready to be a head coach, and Bill Belichick had lost a step over the last 5+ years. Mike Vrabel comes in with after his NFL odyssey, going from the Texans as an assistant coach to the Buckeyes to coaching for years with the Tennessee Titans as their head coach and bringing them to the AFC title game. He comes to New England with a ton of experience. He's a born leader, and not only him, but the guys he's hired. Stretch is his right-hand man, kind of his Ernie Adams, what Ernie Adams was to Bill Belichick. You bring in Doug Marrone, you have a legitimate offensive line coach. You have Ryan Cowden, his right-hand man in the front office. And most importantly, you have Josh McDaniels back as the offensive coordinator, who's been instrumental in Drake May's development. We saw what he did, obviously, with Tom Brady all these years, but also a fantastic year with Mac Jones in 2021. And now he has Drake May in year 2 contending for the MVP. I also believe they were fantastic in free agency because of this cohesion amongst the coaching staff and the front office. And they landed a bunch of starters in the draft. In 2026, they have 10 more picks, and they have about $90 million in cap space when you include the $50+ million they'll be rolling over into next year. So, yes, the schedule has been a little bit lighter, and the trips have not been taxing on their body. But the main reason for success is a complete organizational 180. The Patriots are set up for success for many, many years to come. The Patriots really do have all the elements set up to be a successful franchise for many years to come. I mean, when you nail the head coach and you have the offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels, who's probably not getting a head coaching job anywhere else anytime soon, and then you have a young quarterback at 23 years old, 2 years into his rookie deal, he's already playing like an MVP. He's probably not going to win the MVP, but he's definitely going to get top 5 votes at this point, barring any major collapse in the second half of this season. When you have those 3 things in place, plus you have guys at other premium positions on rookie deals like Christian Gonzalez, who's playing like an all-pro yet again. You just drafted Will Campbell in the first round, who's playing great at left tackle. I know he just got hurt, but he should be back, and he's on a rookie deal. Having a quarterback, a cornerback, and a left tackle all on rookie deals for the next few years really allows them to build the roster around other positions that are not paid as well as those premium positions. They've obviously paid big money for Christian Barmore, and then recently in free agency for Milton Williams. Those 2 guys have been huge as far as why this run defense is one of, if not the best run defense in the league. But I would contend that this team still has a bunch of holes. But while they have holes, they have resources to fill them. They have, like I said, they have about $90 million in cap space next year. And now they enter free agency where they're one of the teams that free agents will want to come play, that people want to come play for Mike Vrabel. They're building a state-of-the-art practice and training facility right outside the Gillette Stadium. So the facilities are going to drastically improve, and it's a team that's now going to be known for winning. Um, in the last 3 seasons, 2022, 23, and 24, the Patriots combined to win 16 games. They went 16 and 35 over the last 3 years. That's not an environment that anybody really wants to come to as a free agent. Yeah, you can overpay for guys, but overall, they were not drafting well. They were not solidifying a core of leaders like they are now. And more importantly, we talk about easy schedules. The Patriots were losing to some of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Here's a list I have of quarterbacks that the Patriots have lost to in the last 3 years, from 2022 to 2024. They lost to Sam Howell on the Commanders at home. They lost to Tommy DeVito and the Giants. They lost to Anthony Richardson and the Colts at home. They lost to Mason Rudolph with the Titans. They lost to Kyler Murray at home off of an injury. They lost to the Justin Fields Bears. They lost to the Raiders with Jimmy Garoppolo. They lost to Gardner Minshew. They lost to Trevor Siemian on the Jets. And they lost to Tyler Huntley on the Dolphins. All of those quarterbacks are bad quarterbacks. They're backups. Maybe some of them aren't even in the league anymore. They won 16 games in 3 years, including the last 2 seasons, 4 wins each year. So, yeah, it's been a little bit of an easier schedule, especially travel-wise. But as a fan of a team that was losing to those type of quarterbacks regularly, it's nice that they are not only beating some of these bad teams, but they're blowing out some of these bad teams. And to go from a bad team to a good team, you have to win these type of games. You have to win these games against these bad teams. To go from a good team to a great team, you have to beat the good or the great teams. Well, so far, they beat Buffalo on the road, and they beat Tampa Bay on the road, and they have Buffalo and Baltimore coming up in a few weeks. So we'll see what they do there. You're not going to win every game, but this team is on pace to win, somewhere between 13, 14 games, maybe 15 if they run the table. And that's never going to be the new standard of what they should be. But these resources that they have and this coaching staff that they have and the destination that they've become, Patriots fans should expect this to be a 10, 11 win team over the next few years and be a legitimate contender. And it feels amazing coming out of the basement of the NFL, talking about, who they're going to draft by basically Halloween, definitely by Thanksgiving every single year. Now we're talking about playoff games. Now we're talking about home playoff games. Now we're talking about possibly having a first round bye. So I don't care if you play the Jets 17 straight games or the Browns 17 straight games. To get a first round bye and to win this many games in the NFL, especially the way that they have, says something about what this team is building. Again, I maintain that this is not that great of a roster. I just think they're extremely well coached. They have a lot of chemistry and they play really hard. And when you have the coach and you have the quarterback and you have the coordinators and you have the owners that want to win, that's kind of the baseline for success. So I'm excited to see what they do this year. I would love to see them win a playoff game. I don't expect them to make the Super Bowl. I don't expect them to win the Super Bowl. But from where they've been the last 3, 4, 5 years to where they are now, it feels great to be back. No one's going to have any sympathy for the Patriots and their fans for struggling over the last 4 or 5 years since Tom Brady left. But unfortunately, this is their worst nightmare. Nobody wants the Patriots to be good again. Nobody wants the Patriots to have a franchise quarterback like Drake May, who can throw the ball 60 yards off his back foot, who can scramble, who can pick up the scheme extremely easy, who has a coordinator that's going to be in his ear the whole time helping him. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants him to win the MVP. But The Patriots are back. Sorry to say it. The Patriots are back.